Okay, in this video, I want to walk you through the many benefits Sean's going to receive from implementing the profitable crew model. So the objectives we want to see is higher effort from the employees, more reliability, and the ability to keep and or attract more A players. Those are the three fundamental things we want. But Sean's goal, if you remember from the case study, is to increase his net profits. And so we think of the profitable crews as kind of a triple win. It's great for your customers because your employees are going to be more engaged and deliver a better service for your customers. It's good for your employees because they're going to end up making more money without it costing you anything. And most importantly, it's great for you because your net profit is going to increase and you're going to create alignment in your business, and it's just going to become a much easier business to run. And so let's walk through how we would present this to Sean in his business. So currently Sean's doing $100,000 a month. His cost of labor is 18%. He's got some sales commissions he pays. He's got some subcontractors and some supplies and materials. This should look very similar to you. And then again, below the line, you'll see he has a gross profit of $41,000, but he's got all of these fixed expenses: accounting, auto expenses, insurance, meals, office rent, so on and so forth. So he has $36,000 that he has to spend fixed every month, which leaves him with $5,000 in profit. And so he makes $60,400 in profit for the year on his business. So approaching Sean and saying, Sean, we want to create a triple win. We want your customers to be happier, we want your employees to be happier, and we want you to make more money. Let's look at what the profitable crew system could do for your business. In my experience deploying this in businesses one-on-one with all of my clients, I see somewhere between a 15 and 30% increase in production once we put this in place in the business. So I would model this for Sean, and I would say, all right, at 15%, this is what would happen. All of a sudden, your employees are going to work harder. They're going to be more diligent. They're not going to take as many breaks, and they're going to start producing more. And so production is going to go from 100 to 115,000 in the month. We're going to pay the same sales commissions. We're going to pay more in labor because we're going to continue to pay the 18%, so $20,700. So that means the employees are making 15% more, which is why they're going to work harder. Before Sean jumps to the fact he can't afford it because he's only making $5,000 a month, how is he going to pay for it? I'm going to tell him to stick with this and just watch what happens with the math. So his cost of goods sold rise from 58 to 67, but his gross profit goes up from $41,000 to $47,000 in the month. And as we scroll to the bottom, all of his expenses below the line stay the same, so he spends the same 36. What happens to his net operating income is it goes from 5,000 to 11, and on a yearly basis it goes from 60 to 134,000. So what happens? Sean's customers are getting a better service because his employees are more engaged, showing up on time and doing a good job. His employees are getting paid 15% more, and Sean's making 123% more profit, which is exactly what we want. We've created alignment for everybody. Everybody is winning in this scenario. And usually what ends up happening is once the employee starts to see this is working in their favor, you'll see they will go to 30%. And when we look at 30%, what ends up happening is obviously the employee is making 30% more for the effort they're putting in, which is great. So that is an ability to attract top talent, because all of a sudden when we're advertising for those jobs, we can show them the range of what our current employees are making, and we have an expectation. We only hire A players who work hard here. And so Sean starts to see like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. People will work harder if they were paid more, and it's not costing Sean any more money. And when we scroll to the bottom, what we see is he goes from $5,000 a month to $17,000 a month, and his net profit improves by 246%. So his customers are getting a better service, his employees are making more money, which makes them work harder, more reliable, and super easy for us to attract A players if we have to replace our poor performers. And the team ejects any poor performer because they're not going to allow somebody to slack on a job because their bonus is at stake as well. And then most importantly for Sean, all of a sudden he has a self-managing company that is super profitable for him. So that's the benefit of the profitable crew model that we're going to deploy. So that's all I really wanted to cover with you here. You can play with this number and see what happens at 10%. You'll see it goes from 60 to 109. If you go up to as high as 35%, you'll see it goes from 60 to 233,000 in net profit for Sean's business. Obviously, the same would apply to your business, but let's first walk through the steps on how we deploy this in Sean's business before we start to jump to putting it into your business. So I'll see you in the next video.